Balake. Where is Balake at?
Name's Blake.
Do you want to go to war, Balake? I'm for real. AA Ron.
AA Ron's right here, everyone. Welcome back for more SPTV, where every day is a great day not to be in a cult. We have a thunderstorm raging outside right now here in Clearwater, Florida. So hopefully the internet doesn't flicker, because if it does, we're going to have problems. In about 10 minutes, I'm going to be hosting the Scientology recap video on Natalie Webster's channel, Life After a Cult. So what I'm doing here is a bit of a 10-minute chat on some of William Good's, aka StreetsLA, aka Scientology Audit, some thoughts that he put out there on Twitter about protester drama. I think it's a really good jumping off point for a short conversation. And guys, this live stream will auto redirect to the live stream on Natalie's channel. So hang out with me and stick with me at the end and join me over for the chat on Natalie's channel. Okay, so let me just show you what I want to show you. This is coming to us courtesy of StreetsLA Scientology Audit. I think his thoughts on this subject of protesting, drama in protesting environments is particularly relevant, because let's not forget, William Good is the one who started the entire streaming Scientology protest movement. And he's also someone who's been doing it nonstop for at least a year now. And the Scientology protests, even before William started doing Scientology protesting, he was doing a protesting of a completely disrelated matter, mostly cop watching, First Amendment audit type stuff that I still generally consider protesting. So I think thoughts from someone who's shown how to do this sustainably over the long term without being derailed, I think his thoughts are particularly valuable. Okay, so here are the tweets that William put out on this subject. This is just a few days ago. He said, "My smartest move has been operating on my own and avoiding being part of groups. Groups eventually lead to infighting, paralyzation, hurt feelings, opposition for the sake of opposition, and weird interpersonal beefs. I'd just rather do my own thing and not be handcuffed by group votes." Those words ring so true. And what I wanted to do was use those thoughts just as a jumping off point for a follow-on conversation about how do we reconcile what William is saying here about avoiding being part of groups. How do we reconcile that with the fact that there is a group of protesters in LA who, and I'm talking about just off the top of my head here, I'm talking about, well, Streets, Confident Chris, Jessica Palmadessa, Aja, Solomon, and there's a whole bunch of other people that I could mention. When I start mentioning even more people, I worry about forgetting even more people. But, you know, people like, oh my God, if I start mentioning people, I'm going to piss people off by not mentioning other people. There is a group of protesters in LA who have been loosely working together. I mean, even other people who I think have fallen away from doing it. I'm thinking of Chris Without a Hellcat. I'm thinking of LA Cam. And there is a group of people who have successfully and in an entertaining and friendly manner worked together. I think people who are really paying attention, though, will notice they are still people who all do their own thing. They don't only show up when someone else shows up. They're not asking for permission to do this. They generally and loosely cooperate with each other just on a friendly basis, but are still doing their own thing. And any one of the people I've named will at any point show up at a location on their own because they want to do it and not just because they're there with someone else. I think it is interesting to consider that whenever you have someone springing up doing something that gets a lot of attention, like William when he started protesting outside the Hollywood Scientology Test Center, you will inevitably attract people who want to join in as a group. And I think to the degree that people want to show up to help or show support or work alongside of someone who's doing that, I think that is awesome way to show support, not only to the streamer, but the entire movement as a whole. That kind of support is great. But at the end of the day, that person, in this case, William, he's going to keep doing what he's doing, regardless of whether people continue to show up to support him, regardless of whether the people who show up to support him start bickering with each other and falling out with each other. And so I would expect something like that to happen in pretty much every city where live stream protesting is occurring. It seems just kind of natural, the natural way of things. It seems kind of organic that you're going to have a group that starts to grow, and then you're going to have fractures, and you're going to have divisions, and you're going to have, well, as William put it in a second tweet here, infighting, paralyzation, hurt feelings, opposition for the sake of opposition, and weird interpersonal beefs. These are going to be the natural order of things. It is also going to be precisely the types of things that Scientology agents and agent provocateurs attempt to capitalize on, which is, I think, why it's important for people to understand that at some point, it's okay to just keep doing what you're doing and not feel the need to take sides in interpersonal beefs. Now, by the way, I did a video a couple days ago, and it was titled, I think I probably titled it, "Let's Talk About the DOA Stuff." And then DOA did a video kind of responding to me. Many of you guys may not know, DOA and I actually did a live stream together last night on his channel. If you go to DOA's channel later, he did 2 live streams last night. One of them is 2 hours long. One of them is 1 hour long. Go to the live stream that's 2 hours long. And to see the section that DOA and I did together, which is about 20 minutes long, jump to the 1 hour, 36 minute mark. I'll probably publish it as a standalone segment on my channel later today or tomorrow. We had a great chat. We cleared the air, answered questions and all that sort of stuff. The title of his video is Russian Spies, Burnt Bridges, Meth Pipes, Death Threats, and is 86 funding the SPTV Foundation. It was a great chat. DOA admitted the title was just kind of clickbait. But I guess I mentioned that because this video I'm doing right now is not an attempt to comment or call out DOA in any way. It's actually an attempt to just have a discussion on some what I think are some important principles that people who are protesting, particularly Scientology protesting, where you have an organization, you have a giant multi-billion-dollar international human trafficking cult that has all the tax-exempt money and time in the world to spend on figuring out how to infiltrate these groups and whisper in people's ears about each other and try to create divides. And even where there are natural, real, organic divides, Scientology will manipulate that stuff and inflame it and take advantage of it and all that kind of stuff. And that's why also, especially since the real world protesting, what's happening in, the real brick and mortar, you can see it and touch it world, intersects with this digital world of YouTube and live streaming and the live chat. It's why I have to tell you, I very much look down on the practice of jumping into the live chat of a YouTube channel to complain and criticize and bitch about someone else on someone else's channel. And my moderators delete that shit immediately. I really consider it to be when you have a group of people who are engaged in the activity that we are engaged in, I feel like we need to have a near zero tolerance policy for people, particularly relatively unknown, anonymous people online, jumping into a live stream to get people inflamed and worked up about other streamers. It's kind of unacceptable. As creators, we already decide what drama to import to our videos or to export. We do not need anonymous people on the internet choosing to do that for us on our channels. That's my opinion. I'm talking about what I set for my own best practices. And I recommend other people consider that as well. Because I just got to tell you, it really, man, you guys know, like I know there's people who are going to listen to what I just said and be like, what are you talking about? You don't shy away from drama. I choose what drama to involve myself in. I choose, and as does every other creator. If you have anonymous people on the internet trying to import drama into your live chat and upset people in your live chat and get your supporters in your live chat to turn against other people on other channels, guys, I'm not saying it's always Scientology, because of course it's not. There's shit stirrers all over the place. but it's what Scientology will capitalize on. Why make it easier for them to do that? Right? It can already be hard enough just for the personalities that exist to properly and respectfully and thoughtfully manage the relationships with each other. Let's not let anonymous people on the internet make our job harder. And that's why I just really do love these comments, because from William, my smartest move has been operating on my own and avoiding being part of groups. Groups eventually lead to infighting, paralyzation, hurt feelings, opposition for the sake of opposition, and weird interpersonal beefs. I just rather do my own thing and not be handcuffed by group votes. These words and that sentiment is actually what I mean whenever I've said I shy away from, I'm against, I am highly allergic to any efforts to make what we're all doing more organized, more structured. No, 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 no. We do not want organization. We do not want structure. We do not want to all have to coordinate. We do not want anyone thinking anyone needs permission to do this. When you do that, you create problems. You create inevitably a hierarchy. You create some us's versus them's. You create an in-group and an out-group. No, 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 no. I feel like in order for what we're doing to be desirable and effective, it's got to be people who are doing their own thing for their own reasons, have admiration and respect for the other people who are doing their own thing for their own reasons. And there's collaboration. Collaboration is different than coordination. And, people who like each other are going to want to work together, and people who don't like each other don't need to work together. But it doesn't mean that any of the people need to stop doing what they're doing, which is protesting Scientology, exposing Scientology fraud and abuse of children and the elderly and destruction of families. 100 people could do that all day long and absolutely hate each other and still do that. Anyway, I'm being a little long-winded. I'm about 5 minutes late for my stream over on Natalie's channel. But I just wanted to have this chat. I wanted to show you William's words on it because, look, guys, William started the entire protest movement when it comes to the Scientology live streaming. I think his words are important to heed and to consider. Okay, let's see. I do have the lovely Barbara, SPTV Tattoo Warrior, in the back, helping me start some comments. So just a few comments here, and then we'll jump over to Natalie's stream. The Good Father. Yes, indeed. SPIT Clearwater. Good to see you, Kai. Greetings from Clearwater, y'all. It is a stormy one, fam. Yeah, it is. It's totally when we get rain like this in Clearwater, all the frogs jump into the pool and lay eggs all over, and it makes the pool go green really quick. And so it's like, you might think, I don't know, like, it's kind of gross. I had to make a special trip to the pool store to buy extra chlorine to dump it because, like, my pool's becoming a frog pond. It's kind of gross. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. Xenu and the Body Thetans, welcome as a new channel member. Roberta, I have some thoughts. One is, it's a shame that they have to do this, but they are brave souls. Okay, thank you, Roberta. Capricious Caroline, for safety, maybe have two people so you have someone else there to live stream if you get arrested. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. None of these words I think should be interpreted as saying don't go out in a group. That's a little different than having an activity that depends on some sort of organized group. Always bring people with you protesting if you can. Marky Mysterious, welcome as a new channel member. Paula Bazak, I will say this, I can always sniff out the clout chasers. And guys, depending on what somebody means by clout chaser, there's nothing wrong with being a so-called clout chaser. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. You're either doing the work or you're not doing the work. Chase that clout and do that work. It makes no difference to me. Poe on the go. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Good to see you, Poe. Let me see. I don't know what that means. Aya Sarah, thank you for gifting a channel membership. That's very kind of you. Letha Faye. Letha Faye. Hello, Aaron. I'm a never in, and this is my first live. I've been anti-Scientology since the late 80s when my brother went into rehab for alcohol and substance abuse. The facility gave my mom Dianetics. It was probably a Narconon rehab facility, if you ask me, but thank you for joining, and thank you for joining your first live. All right, guys, that is it for me. Stick around, and this will auto redirect to Natalie Webster's stream on her channel that I'll be hosting, and I'll see you guys over there.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, oh, Nancy for my love, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe